All right, Cam, we also have to talk some NFL. You have the task of doing some NFL rapid fire around 5 NFL games in 5-ish minutes. So we've got a lot to cover, but I also want to remind everybody about a fun little Turkey Day special. You can get a monthly pass or a weekly pass of any two of our experts for the price listed there. There are discounts, the $150 off and the $50 off. All you have to do is click the link in the description below. It's the one that says picksandparlays.net/turkey. We'll give you all of the information that you need. Okay, Cam, NFL rapid fire. You ready?
Yep.
All right, Falcons at Commanders. Commanders are favored at -4. The total at this one, 41.5. Okay, what is interesting to me, though, the Commanders are a half game away right now, back behind the Seahawks for being the final NFC wildcard spot. Are they going to be able to get this against the Falcons, or will the Falcons' run defense just be too much for them to score enough to come out on top?
I'm actually in Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta, but no, I'm going to go with the Commanders here. The Commanders are in the toughest division in football. All the teams in the division are over 500. The Commanders are chasing that final spot. And now with the Eagles, even though the Eagles only have one loss, that division is wide open. I think the Commanders are going to continue to roll. Taylor Heineke, he plays with such a chip on his shoulder every year, as he truly believes he's an NFL quarterback. And game after game, season after season, he shows that he should be in the league. He should be a team's go-to guy, somebody that they could depend on. I think Washington's going to continue to roll and play well. This game is up there in Washington. I would imagine it could be cold. It could be wet. We could have some snow. But I don't think the Falcons will like that. And I'm going to go with the Washington Commanders to get it done at home as they continue to push for a playoff spot.
Yeah, I agree with the Commanders in this one. I'd be shocked if the Falcons came out on top. I think the Commanders would have to play a pretty narrow game at that point, and I think they've showed that they can do a bit more than that. So Bears at Jets, I have to know. Jets favored at -4.5. But is that team coming in with any type of confidence with that quarterback situation going on right now? We heard the comments Zach Wilson was making, not taking any responsibility for anything he was doing, going against a Bears team, favored at -4.5. I don't know how much I love that. The total at 39.5. But what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, just real quick to touch on the Zach Wilson situation. That team is in complete turmoil, and it was announced just within the last few hours that he is not going to get the start this week. The Jets are actually going to give the ball to Mike White. So that is also going to put the Jets offense in an even bigger situation, as they're having to get another quarterback ready in this system to play this week.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, neither one of these teams score the football. They just don't. They're playing pretty good defense, but neither one of these teams scores the football. Same thing with the Washington game we just touched on. This game is probably going to be wet and cold. It's going to be hard. I just don't see a lot of points on the board. This total has actually come down from where it opened, but I'm still going to go with the under, as two bad teams that are lost in turmoil aren't going to score the ball. So we're going to go under as the Bears meet the Jets this week.
Yeah, I also am a little confused about, I understand Zach Wilson needing to take responsibility, but maybe benching him for that to a worse quarterback. I don't know. I think he could have had some repercussions, but putting your whole team in turmoil because of it, not so sure about that. The under might look good in this one. We've got another game to talk about. The Raiders at the Seahawks. Seahawks favored at -3.5. The Raiders were a team coming into the season everyone had really high hopes for, and that slowly drained with the performances they've had. The total at 47.5. What do you think? Can Geno Smith and the Seahawks get this one done?
I'm not sure. Exactly what you said, though. The Raiders were expected to do a lot, and the Seahawks were expected to do nothing, and they've swapped. And the Raiders did look good last week, but it was against a terrible Denver Broncos team. They ended a losing streak. I think the Raiders are going to do enough this week in Seattle to stay within the number. Seattle may pull off the win, as we said just a few minutes ago. They are fighting for that last playoff spot with the Washington Commanders. So if the Commanders are going to get the win, the Seahawks need to get the win. But I think the Raiders offensively have enough to keep this thing close. I'm actually going to take the Raiders to cover the number this week. Don't know who's going to win, but I'm going to take the Raiders plus the points.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea either. I don't think the Seahawks are, they've looked good and they've exceeded expectations, but are they great? Are they good enough to stop what the Raiders can do on a good day? I don't know. So I might like that one as well. Let's go to the next game here. We've got the Chargers favored at -4.5 in Arizona. We know Kyler Murray's been kind of beat up as well. That can be a struggle for them. and the total is at 47.5. What do you think? Are the Chargers going to really turn things around toward the end of the season?
Yeah, I think it's time for the Chargers to get going. You know, they were right there. They were right there on the cusp against the Chiefs, but the Chiefs, they've won something like 25 straight games in November and December. It's just an outrageous number. The Cardinals are beat up. The Cardinals are struggling. The Cardinals also just fired one of their offensive line coaches from an incident that happened in their game this past week. So yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers to rough up the Cardinals a little bit with Kyler hurt, questionable, and everything like that. I don't think the Cardinals have enough. I don't think the Cardinals are playing well, and the Cardinals as a team seem like they want Kingsbury out of there. So this might be somewhat of a tank to get him out of there. So I'm going to take the Chargers.
Yeah, I was really rooting for the Chargers in the beginning of the year as well. I wanted to see Justin Herbert do really well, and unfortunately that injury kind of studded their season a little bit, but it seems like they're coming back, so I'd like to see them do well and see them as one of those teams in the NFL that are, become in the conversation with the Chiefs and the Bills from year to year at this point. Do we have one more game? I can't count. 4 or 5? Yeah, Packers and Eagles. All right, the Philadelphia Eagles favored at -7. This is a home game, definitely probably in their favor. The total at 46.5. This Green Bay team, Aaron Rodgers is trying to get all these kids in line and follow him. He's like the line leader there in elementary school, but all of his little kiddies falling behind are all over the place at the moment. We've got swerving down the hallway. So can the Eagles get this one done?
Yeah, I do think the Eagles are going to win this game. I think the Packers, that last loss to the Titans, that probably was it for the Green Bay Packers. But the Eagles are really, really good. But 46.5, I don't think is enough. Aaron Rodgers is going to find some points laying on that field. And Jalen Hurts and that Eagles offense is just a smoke show. And we think they're going to continue. We think they're just going to continue to score. And I see this game get into the 50s without much of an issue, even if it's cold. I just think points are going to come in bunches because this is a primetime game on Sunday. So we're going to go with the over.
All right. We like the over 46.5. I love it, Cam. Look, you handled that just fine. 5 NFL games in 5-ish minutes. Sounds great. If you want more of this, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Picks and Parlays Power Hour is live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much.